Sherry Burton and Kathy Korolek, Westview Ratepayer Society's Supportive Housing Subcommittee regarding 24/7 shelter and overdose prevention site, Project 7104 Barnett Street, city's responsibilities as lessor and protecting the community. Welcome.
Thank you. Before I start, I don't need the 1-minute warning. I've timed myself.
Okay, thank you.
I'll find that more disruptive. So, okay. Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. My name is Sherry Burton, representing Westview Ratepayer Supportive Housing Subcommittee. Joining me today is Kathy Korolek, Vice President, Westview Ratepayer Society. Westview Ratepayers ardently supports shelters, housing, and programs for individuals experiencing adversity and/or homelessness. It has been proactive in raising ongoing issues and concerns with Council, MLA Neal, and BC Housing regarding BC Housing's policies, particularly in relation to the management and operation of its local housing and service programs. On July 30, BC Housing announced its new project on Barnett Street, a 24/7 shelter and overdose prevention site. This is a temporary shelter until the new supportive housing shelter complex care facility is built adjacent to the hospital. The city published a legal notice announcing its lease with BC Housing for $10 for the entire 5-year term. Since the closure of the overnight shelter, we have witnessed increased hardship among unhoused individuals and growing concerns from residents and businesses. We are here today to advocate for a balanced, compassionate, and safe approach to this new project. Pursuant to the 4 pillars of harm reduction, prevention, treatment, harm reduction, and enforcement, Council's responsibility to consider the well-being interests of the municipality and its community, and the city's responsibilities as landlord lessor of this project, we make the following 5 requests. 1, the terms and conditions of the lease between the city and BC Housing must protect and safeguard the community. The city must prioritize compliance and ensure lease terms are being fulfilled. When breaches occur, it must pursue enforcement. 2, security should be provided 24/7 by an independent third party, not service provider employees. The community, including shelter clients, experienced employee-led security at the former overnight shelter. The city and council are fully aware that this model was inadequate and failed to protect both the community and shelter clients. If council does not support independent security, we respectfully request a clear rationale be provided to the community. 3, we strongly recommend that the overdose prevention site not be co-located at the shelter site to ensure safety and compliance with Ministry and Vancouver Coastal Health standards. Attached to this delegation are the following supporting documents: the OPS minimum service standards, overdose prevention site manual, and maps of OPS sites in and outside Vancouver. At present, the current OPS at New Roots Clinic is being operated contrary to the Ministry and Vancouver Coastal Health standards. For the safety of employees, community members, and unhoused sober individuals, and to protect the privacy of OPS clients, co-location of the OPS at this site is detrimental, inappropriate, and will contribute to more antisocial incidents. 4, the proposed 24 shelter must be inclusive and operate as a dry facility. Permitting drug use within the shelter combined with OPS will exclude individuals in recovery, seniors, youth, and those fleeing trauma who may feel unsafe or unsupported in such an environment. A dry facility ensures broader accessibility and dignity for all. 5, on behalf of individuals experiencing adversity and/or homelessness and local residents and businesses, the council submit and support a formal request to BC Housing for an independent third-party audit of LIFT Community Services. Concerns raised by residents and businesses have been substantiated by former service provider employees and current and former supportive housing shelter clients. An independent audit would not only address communities' concerns, but also provide valuable insights to strengthen service delivery and rebuild public trust. It is Council's responsibility to ensure the entire community is protected. Implementing these requests will enhance the likelihood of success for the project by minimizing negative impacts and ensuring the safety and well-being of residents, businesses, and BC Housing VCH clients alike. Please respond to each of these requests so that we can share the outcomes and continue working collaboratively towards solutions. By working together with Council and BC Housing, we hope to mitigate negative impacts of the 24/7 shelter and OPS project, deliver the needs and services, programs and services for individuals experiencing adversity and homelessness, and ensure the safety and well-being of residents, businesses, and BC Housing BCH clients. Thank you for your time, attention, and commitment to the well-being of our community.
Thank you very much. Well timed. No applause. Thank you. So we're going to open up with again questions, and based on the last round, it's questions, and also there may be advice for the delegations today. And so I'll do a round of interested. So Councillor Southcott first.
Thank you very much. I appreciate how concise and comprehensive your report is, and also the associated documents. They're very current and they're very interesting. Definitely updates for me.
Excuse me, can I just interrupt for a minute? Your sound is terrible. Nobody can hear it now.
Really? I don't know what to do about that. Okay, I'll speak a little more clearly perhaps. I have one question. Actually, I have a whole slew of questions, but as I went through your document and I wrote questions down, they basically boiled down to essentially one question, and that is a question of feasibility. Of your requests. Now, it's easy to expect someone who you're making requests of to figure that out for themselves, which would be us or staff or whoever. But I think that useful work could be done in terms of investigating and possibly figuring out feasibility of these requests, and possibly even by involving probably one of your choice of council members or the mayor. And I'm just wondering, so my question is, have you considered that? Have you considered investigating feasibility to extend this really good work that you've already done?
So we've tried to directly deal with BC Housing, and we've also asked for a task force, and we've met with resistance. So we're coming to council in your responsibility to protect the community to help. There needs to be pushback from the council, from the municipality to BC Housing over their housing first policies. It needs to be implemented in a much more inclusive, thorough way than what we've already experienced 6 years of housing first. And that's not working for the community, including especially supportive housing and shelter clients.
Thank you. A second question?
So I just want to make my suggestion again, and that is that you work with one of us at the table here to take. I think you could take steps farther forward.
Okay.
I thought we've already made those requests, and they've not.
All right. Other questions of council? Mayor Wasno.
Thank you. Through the chair, I appreciate you time and effort you put into this. Probably aware that I tried for many years to get security put in place, and there was a slew of what I consider to be unreasonable reasons as to why Lyft, operating on behalf of the housing authority, would not do that. So to me, again, I'll make the same question. Have you engaged our MLA in her role as a minister to provide some direction to the minister who's responsible for BC Housing and the deputy minister?
We submitted at the beginning of July an email to BC Housing, to the minister. Then at that time it was Ravi Kalan. So, and we are waiting response because we were advised by ML Neal's office, who we've been dealing with quite regularly over the summer, to deal now directly with BC Housing, and she would support that. Then there was a new housing minister came in, and as the summer has gone on, and obviously with knowing they were going to be announcing this shelter and OPS, that's not reached the top of the list. And my understanding from MLA Neil's office is now that Blackberry Festival is over, that push is now going to be made by MLA Neil. But we're doing the best we can.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have a question for you. I'm wondering about the housing subcommittee. I'm really interested in your recommendation number 4 about a dry facility. And I'm wondering, is the terms of reference of your subcommittee, are you active at all in like looking for potential sites or operators for a dry facility? Like, is that in the terms
Yeah, I
of
think you're
reference?
quite aware of that. MLA Neil's also aware of that.
No, whether that's within the terms of reference of your committee is what I'm asking.
The
Like,
committee's been working with trying to find
okay.
suitable
Yeah.
accommodations for that.
Okay, thank you. I just because I agree wholeheartedly with that recommendation in the sense that it doesn't serve everyone to have a low barrier shelter. It meets the needs of many people, but it doesn't meet the needs of any. And so 2 years ago at UBCM, we did meet with BC with senior BC housing staff about it's not only shelter but supportive housing and also transition housing, where 2 would be really helpful. And so if there's active work on that, I absolutely would be willing to get involved with that. Any other questions? Councillor Palmer.
Yes, thanks, Chair.
Questions?
First of all, Ms. Burton and Ms. McCormick, I just want to thank you for coming forward here today. You know, with all the concerns that are going on in our community and, you know, the 2 fractions, safety of community and compassion for those affected by our drug situation. It's a tough situation to deal with on a regular basis, especially when you're sitting here. But I just want to assure you the first thing on my mind is safety of the residents of our community. And all of your suggestions that you've made today, I wholeheartedly support. And I will be taking those suggestions forward when we meet with the entities that you've outlined here in a closed session that I think is planned on Thursday. And I'm going to ask for some pointed answers. And why can we not get some answers and some movement on these excellent suggestions that you've made? One thing that I will say, have you planned to do any type of follow-up with the residents of the community in terms of perhaps a petition and getting some signatures to back up your ask? Because in the long term, maybe not the short term, but in the long term, those can be presented to the powers that be in the province, at UBCM, at AVICC, knowing that the people of Powell River want to see change. And, you know, we've been dealing with this for a long period of time now. We need to get to the bottom and find a better solution to what we're doing. So I thank you again for both being here today.
Thank you. No applause. Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council? Thank you very much, speakers.
One more little quick thing.
Quickly.
We're all concerned about the encampments for the people living in them and how it impacts the community. And this shelter, the way it's going in, there's still going to be a lot of people who are not going to feel safe going into that shelter. We're still going to be dealing with encampment. So BC Housing really needs to step up, and we need your help to ask them to do that.
Thank you. All right.